Hey, middle school parents, it's Miss Rains here. I want to talk about after school. Not after care, after school. So afternoon dismissal, we dismiss at 3:30. So we've gone over the traffic, the pickup loop, all of that. We're trying to be done with pickup by 3:45. It has been running 3:50, 3:55, and earlier in the week even 4 o'clock. Our goal is 3:45. That's kind of where we were last year, 3:45, 3:46, to have the entire line done, and what was left were stragglers, and the parents came, within a few minutes after that. So what we are going for is a 3:45 to have that line, the bulk of that line cleared out. So the post that went out and the blast that went out saying that at 3:45 middle school students were going to be sent to aftercare. That's what I want to talk about. We're saying 3:45 because that's goal. In reality, it's been closer to 4. We don't send the middle school students upstairs until after all of the car line is done and our grown-ups go inside. That's the point of sending them upstairs, is because our grown-ups come inside. My teachers are contracted until 4 o'clock. Or maybe it's 3:45. My teachers are contracted until 3:45. Most of them stay until about 4 o'clock, sometimes a little bit later. When they're doing tutoring or detention, then obviously their hours fluctuate. But the teachers who are on car line in the afternoons, their hours are up between 3:45 and 4. So all the grown-ups come inside. If we allow all of the students to hang out outside and someone gets hurt, it's a liability on the school. If that student is unsupervised on school property, it is a liability for us. It also hurts your student. With the high school age students, they're able to take care of themselves, and they're able to, if their parents give permission, head over to IRSC and hang out there. A lot of them are drivers, what have you. Middle school students are unable to be outside of the gates of the school alone, unsupervised. So dismissal is at 3:30. If you are not putting your child on a bus and you're picking your child up, then you need to pick your child up at 3:30. When my grown-ups come inside, your students, your middle school students, still need to be supervised. So they're going to be sent to aftercare. It is much more cost effective and efficient for you to register them for aftercare than to incur a late pickup fee. A late pickup fee. Registration for aftercare is $25. The per session, it's $185. $185 for a 4-week session breaks down to about 6 cents per minute. If you're not registered for aftercare and your student gets sent to aftercare, and let's say they're there for an hour, that's $60 for a day, because it's $1 a minute that you're late. This is absolutely common practice. If you call the aftercare programs all over the county, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get $1 a minute that you're late. And you're going to have other areas where they won't send them to aftercare. They will call and have them picked up. They'll report the parents, things like that. We don't want to do that. We just want to make sure kids are safe. Our aftercare is homework help. It's a snack. It's tutoring. And then it's decompression and hanging out in a controlled environment with an employee that I pay extra to stay later with your children. Again, I have parents who are emailing and texting and messaging us asking me to not send their children to aftercare, that they're going to be here by 5:30 or 5 o'clock or whatever, 4:30, and they want me to leave their children outside in the parking lot alone, unsupervised, with construction workers and with other people coming into the parking lot. It's not safe for your children. We're not doing this to be difficult. We're doing it for the safety of your children. Most of your children, if you have a 6th grade child, your child was in elementary school last year, 5th grade. You paid for aftercare there, or you made arrangements. Here, same thing. Make arrangements or register them for aftercare, or understand that they're going to be sent if you are not here by the time our line is empty. Again, we're saying 3:45. In reality, it's closer to 4, and the clock doesn't start on that late fee until the child signs into the aftercare room. Again, it's only the middle school kids. this is not meant to punish parents who are late. This is definitely, it doesn't even apply to parents who are have an emergency every now and then and are late. This is for the parents who haven't made arrangements for their children, and their children are still sitting here at 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. The reason we have to do the registration and the reason that we don't do a drop-in is because we have to be able to staff it. For every 25 students that I have in aftercare, I have to hire another employee. I have to hire an employee to run the front desk while an employee is with your children. So I have to be able to staff it, and then I provide the snacks for your children. So I have to be able to know how much food to buy for your kids. So it's a planning thing. That's why we require the registration, that you have to register and do the paperwork. We have to be able to plan. We don't do daily drop-ins, but you can do it a month at a time. Let's say you want session 1 and session 4, but you don't want session 2 and 3. That's fine, because that gives us enough leeway to plan, to staff, and to buy food. That's fine. Again, it's a matter of all of my employees come inside at 4 o'clock, and we can't leave your kids outside. It's just, we can't do it. It's not in the best interest of your students. Anything could happen to them. It's a school liability. They cannot be left outside unsupervised, period. So either make arrangements for them to be picked up, make arrangements for them to walk over to the library on the IRSC campus right here. It's a couple of blocks away. Make arrangements to be able to pick them up. Make arrangements to put them on the bus. Whatever it is that you need to do, or make arrangements to put them in aftercare. Again, our aftercare program is 6 cents a minute if you're actually registered for it. Food, tutoring, homework help, and then hanging out and playing ball and decompressing with their friends once the homework and tutoring is over. So I know that for those of you who are rolling in at 3:50, and I said 3:45. I know those of you who are doing that are panicking. I'm not talking to those of you who are rolling in at 3:50. Those of you who are stuck at the back of the pickup line. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to those of you who were assigned to 1708 because it's still parked while we're trying to interview and hire somebody and get the person cleared. So those things that are our fault, that are our emergencies, your kids are good. They're good. We're not talking to you. We're talking to the families who, again, the children are still sitting here at 4:15, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. My teachers are in at 7 in the morning. Half my teachers are here on Saturdays and Sundays. It's not fair to expect them to stand outside with your kids because you haven't gotten here to get them. And again, we're not trying to be difficult. We're trying to do what's in the best interest of your children and your children's safety. So, and again, we're not talking about the emergencies either. Once in a blue moon that something happens, or on the way, or you get stuck in traffic, or whatever. There's a miscommunication between mom and dad and who's picking up the kid. Those types of things. We're not talking about the once in a while things. We're talking about the consistent stuff. So if you're interested in registering for aftercare, the forms are on the website. Right now, there are still only 5 children actually registered. But every day this week, we've had over 20 kids up in that room because parents aren't picking their kids up. So, the text that went out was that today was the last grace period. So every day this week, I have paid for snacks, and I have paid the employees to take care of your kids, and I've paid for that, with the exception of the 5 families who actually registered. So those of you who are going to use the service, I need you to get registered. We are going to start issuing, as of tomorrow, we're going to start issuing the IOUs, and there will be a flag against your student's account for participating in extracurriculars and things like that until those get taken care of. If you are not interested in having your students in our aftercare program, there are other aftercare programs around the county. Kids Space picks up here. I think that YMCA picks up here also. I know there's some dance things and some gymnastics things and other stuff like that pick up. So you can always make arrangements for things like that if you want to, but we will not allow middle school students to be outside the gates unsupervised after 4 o'clock going forward, period. And if your student is sent to aftercare, you do have to park and come in and pick them up. You have to sign them out in the main office. I hope that answers questions. I hope that helps clarify. Again, we're not talking to 1708, and we're not talking to emergencies and every now and then. We're talking to the consistently late parents who have not made arrangements for their children. So if you have any questions about the program, please feel free to email Ms. Zerger. And again, IRSC is right there. If you don't want your children here and we won't allow them to sit outside, you need to submit permission for them to walk over to the library over there, and you can pick them up there. But because once they're off our property, it's no longer a liability issue. And if you're giving them permission to leave the property, again, no longer a liability issue. So, okay, that's it. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.